name is Stephanie, and for today we are going to explore some yoga poses that are perfect, that you can do to help you sleep. And just before we begin, I want to just make sure that we have the props that are needed for today. So we're going to need, if you have a traditional yoga bolster and a block, great, we're going to need that. Or to use something around the house, you can use like a large pillow. It just needs to be a little bit dense, not like a super soft pillow. It could also be a couch cushion, and something to stabilize it, like a large book or a dictionary, and we'll be putting it onto a ramp. So I'll let you go and get your props and then we'll start. Okay, so I've put my props off to the side. We're going to use those more towards the end. So this is a short segment, and as I said, it's going to be postures that are brilliant and beautiful to use to help you get ready for bed and to go to sleep. So let's start coming into a tabletop position. Hands are underneath the shoulders, and we're just going to do some cat and some cows. Just start breathing in and out through your nose if you can. The nice thing with cat and cow is that it can really help to loosen up your tight shoulders. So as I'm coming into cat, I'm drawing my belly muscles in and really tucking my chin in. And then as I move into the cow, I'm trying to just push my shoulders back and shine the heart forward and let my belly really hammock. So let's do that a few more times. And remember, anything that you're trying, if you like it and you want to stay doing it longer, you can just pause and then press play again when you feel like you want to resume. Okay, let's add one more thing here with our cat and cows. As you're doing these movements, I want you to start to just push your hips from side to side. And maybe you're kind of doing like a hybrid cat, cow, push hips, twist, cat, cow, like whatever goes here. You're just trying to let your shoulders relax and your neck. And then as you're continuing to inhale and exhale, you're also letting your jaw be nice and relaxed. You try not to clench your teeth. So we'll do this for 2 more breaths. And then we'll come back. And then I'd like us to move into a wide knees child's pose. So big toes touching, knees are wide apart, and you can start to just lower yourself down to the ground, trying to bring your forehead down to the ground. Extend your arms. You can reach them and maybe have your palms pressing into the ground, sending your hips back. Just taking nice big breaths, breathing in and out through your nose. Let's hold here for 1 more breath. And then let's start to walk our hands over to the right side of the mat. And I want you to reach over to the right side, and you're going to press into your left hip so you get this nice stretched sensation in the left side of the body. And then we'll walk all the way over to the other side. So now I'm pressing into my right hip. I'm stretching through my hands over to the left side. So now I'm getting this sustained stretch on the right side of my body. And it kind of goes all the way from the underside of my arm right down to my hip, my right hip. We'll take another breath. And come back to center. We'll come back into our child's pose 1 more time. So we're trying to do these movements here that are encouraging us to breathe in and out through the nose. We're breathing in a nice, deep and regulated way. We're trying to slow our heart rate down, lower the blood pressure, let's bring ourselves back up again into a tabletop position. And you might feel like you just need to do a little bit of a movement again. And then let's take a deeper movement with a twist here. So I want you to have your right hand directly underneath your face. Fingers are spread wide. Take your left arm out to shoulder height. And then to whatever degree feels available to you, I want you to start to stretch your hand up to the ceiling. So you're getting this twist in your spine. You're also stretching into the back of the arm, the left arm. You might also feel a twist across the belly area. Now, some of us might look up to the hand because that feels good, and others we may not. We might just say, I'm going to look down to the ground. But I want you to really breathe here. Breathe in and breathe out. One more time, breathe in and breathe out. And then let's take this arm, and I want you to scoop it underneath the right hand. So now you're pressing down through your left arm and your shoulder. We're going to take a nice big breath. Some of us might feel like it's available to take the right arm and drape it behind your back. Don't worry about doing that if you feel like it's too much pressure on your neck. And then we'll come all the way back up, and we'll just come right back into a tabletop position, maybe just doing a little bit of wiggling around again. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I want you to take your your left hand first underneath your face, and then your right arm out to shoulder height. And then you're going to stretch the arm up any amount that is available to you. Maybe looking up, maybe not, but just taking a really big deep breath, trying to breathe right into your lungs. One more breath. And then we're going to take that hand and scoop it under, and you're going to come down on the right shoulder. So we're getting a twist in the right side, or in the right shoulder again, maybe feeling it a little more deeply on the right side. And then if it works for you, you can take your left arm and drape it behind your back, but not necessary if it feels like there's too much pressure on your neck. So we'll take one more breath. And then release the arm. Bring yourself back up. We're going to take just a little bit of that wiggling, cat-cow, twisting, hybrid movement, whatever you want to call it, whatever it becomes. And then let's come down one more time into our wide knees child's pose. Let's take a couple breaths here. You might find that, you've been in child's pose now a few times, but you can push the ground away from you with your hands and send your hips back even further. You might find that you're lifting your arms up a little bit higher, and we'll give that just a little deeper stretch. But again, if that doesn't work for you or doesn't feel right, then just go back to doing what feels good. We're going to take another breath. And from here, we're going to use our prop. So you're going to grab your cushion, and we're going to take a pose that's similar to child's pose, but it's called puppy pose, and we have a little different angle with it. We're going to have our hands, it might be your palms on the bolster, or it might be more of your forearms. You're going to kind of decide here. You're going to keep your knees about hip distance apart, and I want you to send your butt back in the air, and you're letting your chest drop towards the ground. So you might find that your face touches the ground quite easily, and it's okay if that's not happening, because what we're trying to do is get that stretch in the underside of the arms, in the pec muscles, across the ribs. So again, you might have to have your hands more on the bolster, and you're going to lean back. You might be more like what I'm doing on the forearms. You're just going to find that point that allows you to feel like you're kind of hanging there, and you're getting this big stretch. And we're going to try and stay here for 2 more breaths. Big breath. I want you to breathe into the back of your lungs, into the back of your body, and 1 more breath. And then we'll lift ourselves back up. We'll pause here. And you can do another little wiggle. And then we'll try that one more time, but we'll add on to something that we did earlier. When we were in child's pose earlier, we walked our hands over to one side and the other side. So we're going to try that now in our puppy pose in this variation. So stretched out arms, and if it's available, maybe wiggle the arms over to the right side. You're going to push into your hip. So you've got that same diagonal sort of stretch that's happening. And then we'll walk our hands over to the opposite side and we'll do the exact same thing. Nice big breath, and then we'll come back to center. And I'd like us to just come down to a seated position. And legs are crossed if you can manage this. If it doesn't feel good to be in crossed legs, you can always sit on your prop. And we're just going to have our hands on our knees, and we're just going to do some nice rotations. So you're just doing some circles through your waist. You might find that you're curving your back a little bit. We're just getting into those hips, and then we're going to reverse the direction. And we're still breathing. We're relaxing our body, preparing it for rest, preparing for sleep. We'll come back to center. And then we'll just release our legs because they have been crossed and they might feel a little bit like they need a stretch. So we'll just give them a little shake. If you want, you can take your prop, bring it on your legs, pull it right into your belly, and then just take a nice forward fold. So your back is rounded, stretching into the backs of the legs. Now you might find that you don't want the prop, you want to just take this position. Maybe you want to reach for your feet. There's all these options available to you. Maybe your knees are bent and that's what feels better. Whatever feels good here, we're going to hold this for 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Okay, and we'll come back up. All right, so we're going to use both of our props again. So you're going to take your book or your block, place it at the top of the mat. You're going to take your cushion and bring it on top of the book, and you're going to make a ramp. I want you to sit with your right hip pressed up against the bolster. And don't worry about your legs. You can adjust them to the way that feels comfortable in a minute. I want you to get into this position first. So your right hip is pressed up against the bolster. You're going to take one hand on either side of the bolster, and then I want you to just lower yourself down, and you're going to bring your right ear to the prop. So you're just kind of cuddling into this position. Your legs, you might find that they're a little too bent. Maybe you want to stretch them out a bit more. I want you to try to keep that snugness of the hip close to the bolster, but certainly be comfortable with your knees bent. So this is a very therapeutic pose. It's very relaxing. You get the support of the prop, and you get to just let your weight drop into the prop. So I want you to just be aware of relaxing your shoulders and your hands, your neck, your jaw. I want you to keep breathing in and out through your nose. Now there's one more place this can take us, and if we were in person, I would be saying the same way I'm going to say it now through a video: do not push it. So if this doesn't feel good, you're not going to do it. You're going to stay like this. And in fact, if this doesn't feel good as well, you're going to come out of this pose. But if it's available to you, you can take your left ear and you're going to turn your neck, turn your head, and bring the left ear. So now your spine is twisted in 2 places. It's going in 2 different directions. And we'll stay here. In fact, I won't demonstrate how long you can stay here, but you can stay here for up to 5 or 7 minutes. But we're going to take nice big deep breaths. So you always have the option to go back to having the right ear on your pillow. You always have the option to press pause and stay here for a longer period of time. I definitely encourage you to at least stay here for 3 minutes. Okay, so from here, we're going to start to, if you are on your left ear, you're going to come back so that you're back to where you started on the right ear. Take a few breaths, let everything soften. Just be comfortable again. We're going to bring our hands to the ground to start to lift ourselves up gently. And then we're going to just take a neutral pose here. We're going to turn around, have your tailbone up towards the bolster, right up towards the bolster, and just let yourself lie back. So what we're doing now is just pulling the chest open. We were in a twisted, more of a spinal flexion posture a moment ago. Now we are opening up the chest. It's like we are just refreshing. We're going to do the other side in a moment. So we'll take a couple breaths here. You can turn your head from side to side gently. Just let your neck feel comfortable. You can always press pause and stay here for a longer period of time. This is a wonderful posture as well, supported fish pose, so you can stay here for longer periods of time. Okay, and then we're going to lift ourselves up. This is kind of the trickiest part because you got to come back up. And then we're going to do the exact same thing that you just did before, but you're going to have your left hip up to the bolster. So I'm going to turn my back to you. Your left hip is up right flush against the bolster. Bring one hand to either side of the bolster, and we'll start first by lying down on the left ear. Remember your legs, just let them be as comfortable as you need them to be. Top leg might be stretched out. Just try to keep your hip close. And we'll stay here. We can stay here for longer than I'm showing you. But just like before, if you want to explore a little deeper twist and have the 2 different directions twist, your right ear is going to come to the bolster. So you decide if this feels good. For a lot of us, this is too much. Sometimes when you are brand new to postures, when you do things for the first time, it feels like too much, but then you try it a few more times and then it seems more accessible. Similarly, some days you can try something and it works, other days it doesn't. It's just how we are. Everything is different from day to day. So you're going to decide what feels good. You can stay here for 2 to 3 minutes. Getting a nice deep twist. Eyes can be closed for sure. Breathing deeply, relaxing your arms and your shoulders. And then, just like before, if you're on the right ear, we're going to just go back to where we started. So you're on your left side, left ear on the bolster. Take a few moments here to just relax. And then we'll bring our hands either side again. We're going to gently lift ourselves up, just taking time, not ever moving quickly out of these poses that we hold for a period of time. And we're going to turn around onto our back again. And just release yourself back. Now, if you find that being in this position, there's too much of an arch in your spine, it just doesn't feel good, you can always grab another book in your house or a blanket and just roll it up and just lift up, place it underneath your hips, and then you'll just be up a little bit higher. You're not in as much of a curve. It just depends. So we'll pause here. We're going to maybe even stretch the arms a little further away from the body this time, externally rotating the arms open, palms facing up. You can turn your head from side to side, let your neck stretch out, making sure you're not clenching your teeth. And again, you can stay here longer, but we'll bring our hands flat and lift yourself up taking your time. And then we'll repeat something we did a little bit earlier. You can take your prop, place it on your belly, and then, not on your belly, up to your belly, on your legs, and then just fold forward again. Nice curved spine, nice big breath. Shoulders are relaxed. We'll take one more breath, and then we'll lift ourselves up, and then we'll take one of the best poses for trying to relax and calm your nervous system before bed, and that is legs up the wall. So you can come over to a wall space, and the way you do legs up the wall is you bring one hip up to the wall. I have my left hip, and there's no shame in how this looks because it's very awkward to bring your legs up the wall. But you have one hip up, and you just swing your legs up the wall. And you might have to take a couple tries at it. You might have to do a whole bunch of wiggles to get your, you want to try to get your legs up close to the wall. And you can relax here. You can keep your arms in whatever position feels comfortable. It could be on your belly, could be in cactus, could be stretched out. I like to encourage, if you can stay in legs up the wall for at least 2 minutes, that's an ideal amount of time to start with. But legs up the wall, assuming that you feel comfortable, you don't feel any discomfort, you don't have migraines, you don't have untreated high blood pressure, so untreated high blood pressure. This type of posture really is quite safe if you feel comfortable. It's always if you feel comfortable and if your body is enjoying the pose. So you can certainly stay here for longer than 2 minutes. We'll take a few more breaths. So we're just recirculating the body, sending fresh blood to the heart, draining our lymphatic system. We're going to take 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. And then the way that I like to come down from this posture, again, you can stay here longer. You could have paused the video. But the way I like to come down, no matter how long I stay, is just bringing the legs down, and we'll just roll to our right side. And then just pause. Here you can use your right arm as a pillow. And just pause. Take some breaths. Spend as much time here as you need. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift ourselves up and we're going to come into our last pose in this sequence of getting yourself ready for sleep. I'm going to move the block away. You can take your cushion and just bring it underneath your knees. This just gives some support to your back. If you really want to stay here for a good period of time, you can get a blanket and tuck yourself in. Just make sure you feel nice and cozy. Make sure you have, your feet feel warm, your arms feel warm, socks on your feet, sweater on, etc. And then just lie yourself back. And we're going to lie down. And your palms can be facing up, or just relax your arms in any way that feels good. I want you to close your eyes, let the weight of your legs really just sink into the bolster, so you might even feel like your feet are flopping away from each other. Just nice heavy legs. You're going to let your spine just relax and snuggle into the ground. Release your shoulders, softening your jaw, closing your eyes, and you can stay here for as long as you like. I will say, I hope that this practice makes you feel more relaxed and calm and you have a good night's sleep. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me, and namaste.